So, Mark Henry took on Sheamus at Summerslam 2011, and I don't think much was expected from this match. That, well, it looked like it was going to be somewhere at the beginning of the card, but to be honest with you, as always with the recent Mark Henry push, I remained entertained throughout this match. Just a brief moment at the beginning where Sheamus kind of kicked it off with some offense. Mostly though, it was all Mark Henry in this. Almost like a squash match, but then he did get something to say, well, I'm not buried here. So did Sheamus. So ultimately, I think everybody's come out of this one with a good feud that could continue. A shocking high spot at the end then.
Yeah, good God. Never saw that one coming. Poor Sheamus, definitely on the receiving end of it. Mark Henry and Sheamus was a strong and fun match for the most part. I think both of them took it up a couple of notches with the brutality factor. I thought, to be honest, Sheamus would have maybe brought a bit more to the table, since he did, or he wasn't at least afraid to step up to the big man. But again, Mark Henry's push prevails, and poor Sheamus on the receiving end of a serious bashing through that ring guard, whatever you want to call it. Some guy nearly got his head taken off in the crowd as well. He did a quick run. Smart thinking, quick reactions, so credit to that guy. For that guy alone, I'm going to put him in 1 of the 3 out of 5 I'm going to give this match.
It was some match for one match, and I think, you know, I didn't expect much, even though I like Mark Henry now and I like what he's been doing, but I was impressed. And, you know, for a second match on the card, to actually to be interested is a big thing, because they need to be steadily building your interest towards that main event, and to me that was solid. And I'm glad, because I was calling for it to be more along the squashing Sheamus. I did want to see Mark Henry go over and to continue that build. I mean, after all, they could more or less maybe even make Sheamus lose the next time as well, and I don't think Sheamus will lose very much from that. And again, Mark Henry will have everything to gain.
My one bit of beef with this one is I think it could have went a lot longer. I think they could have dragged a lot more out of it. I think Sheamus got the short end of the stick with this one. They should have made you know, put some bit of focus on him being, you know, who he is and what he has done. I think it was a bit of a squash on the ease part for poor Sheamus. You know, there was no need really to go that far with it. But if they're going to push Mark Henry like they seem to be doing, then maybe, you know, as we did say earlier on the show, it's nothing for Sheamus to lose this one, that they can pick him right up where they left off, especially with no titles and his transition from heel to babyface. So all in all, I suppose it's not the worst thing for poor Sheamus. Mark Henry's supreme reign of power continues. The path of destruction, who will be next, is the question.
Long may it continue. I think going on that, you know, traditionally we've rated pay-per-view matches and they always seem to stay around the 3s. I'm going to go with, I think I'm going to go with a 3.7 out of 5 on this one. Better than what I expected, better than the average, and ultimately a good match. Much more, I think, to be said there in terms of that feud continuing, so I'd expect to perhaps see that again on the next pay-per-view. Maybe Sheamus will take the next one, maybe they'll go back and forth like that for a while, but certainly for television I think they could do a bit with that, continue it, and yeah, it'll be interesting for SmackDown stuff in the upcoming weeks. So that's that, as we continue to watch SummerSlam 2011 live here on Justin.tv.